Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear audience. Welcome back to our channel. Mr. Gulfam, there are two prominent creatures of Almighty Allah, human beings and jinns and demons. As far as human beings are concerned, they get married to one another and they produce their offsprings, right? On the other hand, demons and jinns, they might have these kind of relationships among themselves. So my question today I want to ask you, because there are a lot of inquiries that most of the female, they contact us and they ask us that at night they had a dream, or they felt that some invisible creature was having sexual intercourse with them. So my question, it's really a sensitive type of question, but it's necessary. I want to really ask you that is it possible that a demon or a jinn can have sexual intercourse with a human being? Or is it possible that a jinn, a demon, can get married to a human being? What do you say?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Mr. Salman, between two entities, between two bodies, between a male, a female, there are two things. First is sexual intercourse and second is reproduction, production of offspring. So as far as demons and jinns are concerned, they have these two things as human beings have. They also have intercourse and they produce offspring. For example, in Holy Quran, Allah Almighty says, "Lam yatmithunna insun qablahum wala jan." Chapter Rahman, verse number 74. Allah Almighty is talking about huras of Jannah, that no human being and no jinns have established sexual intercourse with them. And there is another verse in Holy Quran, chapter Al-Kahf, verse number 5. Allah Almighty says, "Afatattakhidunahu wa dhurriyyatahu awliya'a min duni." Are you making friend from Satan and from his offspring, from his children? So these two verses indicate that jinns can establish sexual intercourse and they can produce offspring.
Yes, sure.
And then comes the question whether jinns and demons establish sexual intercourse with human beings and whether they produce children. So the first point is that jinns can have sexual intercourse with human beings. They can have. As Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there is a hadith in which Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, when a person goes to his wife and he does not recite the name of Allah Almighty and he establishes sexual intercourse with his wife, so in that act Satan is involved. Satan is involved in that sexual activity, and the thing happens between that Satan and between that female. So this is reality. It happens. And besides this hadith, it is experience of different females. As you said, many females, they contacted us and they say, as we think, as we feel at night, we are sleeping, but suddenly we feel that some invisible thing is having sexual activity with us.
Yes.
So this happens. Sexual intercourse can happen between a jinn and between a human being. But they cannot produce offspring. They cannot produce children. And as far as the marriage between human beings and jinns is concerned, marriage is not allowed. Because marriage is done for two purposes, for satisfaction and for offspring. As Allah Almighty says in Holy Quran, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا. Allah Almighty has created wives for you, partners for you, so you might get satisfaction. And only you're a married person, only sexual satisfaction is not enough. You need mental satisfaction and different other things too. So in this case, when a human being got married with a jinn, only sexual satisfaction can be achieved, but other satisfactions are vacant here. You cannot have all the happiness that you can have with a human being. And the second purpose...
Is it possible? You're talking about that it's not allowed. Is it possible?
It is possible.
The marriage.
The marriage is possible. And I know some incidents, I know some events of different scholars, authentic scholars, and they quote different incidents that marriage had happened between a human being and between a jinn. There is a person in my mosque, and he used to offer Jummah prayer in my mosque, and someday he was quoting an incident that one of his friends, and he got married with a female jinn. And he said, I asked him, how do you perform sexual activity with her? And he said that when I intend to do that, and when she intends to do that, she comes in my wife. She comes in my wife, and I perform that activity with my wife. And after that activity, my wife had nothing. My wife is not conscious in that place, in that moment, in that situation. So this happens. This can happen. Marriage can happen between human being and between jinn. But reproduction is not possible because human beings, they are visible things and they have a body, and human beings are concrete things, but jinns are abstract things. So reproduction is not possible.
So it's a kind of dramatic thing. I mean,
it's not dramatic.
I mean,
it's reality.
It looks like a dramatic thing. Means the marriage between a human being and it's like a filmy scene. Let's just move on, Mr. Gulfam.
But it is reality. It happens. There comes the question that how the interaction of a concrete thing or of an abstract thing can happen. So let me tell you, air is abstract. Air is not concrete. But air can move concrete objects.
Yes.
So this is the evidence.
And we can feel air as well.
We can feel air as well. So this is the thing. This is the evidence that interaction and intercourse between an abstract thing and between a concrete thing can happen.
So let's come to the conclusion. How women, especially, how they can avoid this thing?
This thing not only happens with women. This thing also happens with male. I know a person. He is my relative, and if some viewer has confusion, and if he's skeptic about this thing, he can come to me, and I will make him meet with my relative. And he is under the effect of black magic. He is under the effect of jinn possession, and he has this experience many times that he feels that some invisible things, some invisible females are having sexual intercourse with him.
So how to avoid it? What are the precautionary measures, and what are the ways that we can come out of this thing?
Just by the recitation of Holy Quran. Make yourself neat and clean. Obey Allah Almighty. Offer your prayers. Recite Holy Quran. Do some charity, and inshallah you will be protected from all these evils. So this is the simple thing. But if this is the precaution before being affected by this thing, but if you are affected by this thing, so in this case you need a spiritual healer. In this case you need an expert.
All right. Thank you so very much, Mr. Gulfam, for your time. Thank you so very much for watching this video.